Hello, I'm Marla Smith with Horse Lover Magazine, and today our trainer Dave Evans is going to talk about mounting your horse so that he stands still. Dave's going to show us how to keep the horse standing still until he's cued to walk off. I know you'll enjoy this lesson. Dave, how do you mount a horse so that he stands still?
Marla, as we've said before, you need to condition your horse to standing still. When you groom him, you need to take your time whenever you're going to ride, reinforcing that whoa command that we've begun and utilized every time we've been around the horse, either asking him to stop or to stand still. So whoa not only means stop, it means stay stopped as well. So that's something that you reinforce continually with your horse. Now, as far as mounting, as we've said before, you need to use the ground to your advantage. You need to get on the high side whenever possible. You'll see people mount generally in a couple of ways. One way is that they will grab the saddle horn or some part of the saddle with their left hand and the cantle with their right, put their foot in the stirrup, and then pull this way. Now, in order to do that, in order to mount, you have to move this hand before you can sit in the saddle. And there is something else that can occur when you're doing this, and that is, if you'll notice my left foot, I'm making contact with the horse behind his front shoulder. So in one sense, I'm cueing the horse to move. So that's something that we need to be aware of and avoid if at all possible. For that reason, I think it's better to mount with your right hand on the saddle horn, the left hand takes both reins and part of the mane. Grip that firmly, step, pull, up, over, and down gently. Now, once you're mounted, you need to sit there for 30 seconds or so. When you're working on mounting needs to be the priority for the day. If you're having difficulty with your horse mounting, it's important that you let him sit after you've mounted for about 30 seconds so that he realizes when you hit the saddle, that's not his cue to move out. Now, had he not stood still, here's what I would have done. If he had begun to move, when I started up, I would have just stepped back down, maintained control of the left-hand rein, and we would have done it again. I would have backed him up in that same position and started over. Again, realizing that that needs to be a priority for the minutes that you spend with your horse.
Dave, how would you demonstrate mounting for someone who has to use a mounting block for such a tall horse?
Marla, the procedure for using a mounting block is essentially the same as that from the ground. One thing that you do need to do is make sure that the horse is accustomed to the block. As you would with anything that's introduced, let him smell it, let him see it out in front of him before you put it in position in order to use it. If you were on the ground, think of yourself as, think of what we did without the mounting block. Think about where your feet would be and then position the block at that spot. So it's the same thing. You go up, you stand, saddle horn in the right hand, mane and reins in the left, and you step, pull, and coordinated movement over and gently down in the saddle.
Thank you, Dave. That was a good lesson.